Maddie Wymer to the show. Maddie, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Oh, thank you for so much for having me on the show.
Next one up for the Boardman softball community. So let's get into Maddie Wymer's interview now. I mean, you got the opportunity to play, being one of the underclassmen. You have an opportunity to play with a generous amount of seniors on this year's squad. I guess the first question I have for you is, talk to me about some of the biggest things you've learned from this senior class that is so generously big.
These seniors have taught me so much. Like, even from them being juniors last year and seniors this year, they've taught me so much. They taught me to like believe in myself and believe in my teammates, and honestly just to like stay out of my head and not worry what anyone else thinks and just have fun and play my best.
You come into this year and you take the role as the everyday catcher, and you split time last year with another senior last year that probably taught you a lot. What was it like to kind of know this year it was kind of going to be your opportunity to be behind the plate and catch this pitching staff?
I was really excited to be the primary catcher this year. I was excited to like show people what I have and to like work with everyone else. It was hard at first, and it still is. Being like one of the only catchers, it's a struggle, but I feel like I have learned a lot, and they've taught me so much. Like all my seniors and my coaches.
What's the dynamic of catching for a senior Maddie Lester, where maybe there's some things to be taught or some things to be learned there, as opposed to a Tori Strines that's coming up, learning the game maybe a little bit, learning the varsity level, and maybe some things that can be taught on your end? Talk to me about that dynamic between those two.
I feel like Maddie has taught me a lot, and at first it was hard to like find our chemistry exactly, but I feel like now we finally kind of reached a point where we both like trust each other and we know what's happening. But she's definitely taught me a lot, and I've learned a lot from her. She taught me a lot about like different framings and stuff, and like different ways to set up, and I feel like I've learned a lot about her too and how her pitching style is. And yeah.
You definitely do a lot behind the plate, but let's talk about you at the plate too, because you're third on the team right now in batting average. You've come into this season and just taken this bat by the horns. What has been what has made it so easy to succeed this year at the plate? What has been working so well for you?
I feel that I don't get in my head usually. Like I try not to be in my head when I'm at bat, and all I have to think about is just getting on base. Like it doesn't have to be an amazingly big hit. It doesn't have to be like an absolute shot to the outfield. It just matters about getting on base. It doesn't matter how you get on base either. If it's a walk, you're getting hit by a pitch, as long as you get on base, that's all that matters.
What was the spring break trip like for you to get back out there with the team and just experience that as a whole?
I thought it was an experience for sure. We struggled a little bit at first. There was a lot of just aspects that were a lot different down in Florida. We shouldn't use this as an excuse, but it was very hot when we were there, and we just weren't used to it because we just came off of playing from snow to then like 90 degrees. So it was different. But the way that Florida plays compared to the way that we play is a lot different. And I think that we weren't ready for it at first, but we overcame it and we did a lot better in the end.
Follow
Okay.
up to that, though, I just wanted to know some of the best memories you had, though, as like team bonding experiences that you had down in Florida as well.
We all went out to dinner a lot, and we all went to the beach a lot, as much as we could, with also like not trying to exhaust ourselves for games and stuff. I know that after one of our late games, we had Coach Fred got us all pizza and Taco Bell. So we all sat in like the hotel lobby area and we just ate it and we talked and we laughed and had fun. We all really had fun in our hotel rooms and stuff. I know we stayed up and we watched movies and we ate snacks. It was fun. I really enjoyed Florida.
You got to tell us about the Urban Meyer story though, because I heard that you just went up and knocked on his door. Is that how it went
Yes.
down?
Yeah, so my house that my parents had and like a couple like another family and stuff, we were all staying in this house and it was Easter night and Coach Bernie Bola, one of the JV coaches, he was outside walking and stuff because like you can kind of see the ocean from where our house was at. So he was just like walking and stuff and he saw one of the neighbors and he was like walking his dog and this neighbor was super nice and but he tended to talk a lot and he just kept talking and talking and then he randomly said like did you know that Urban Meyer lives like right down the street from here, and we were like no way. So Coach Bernie came in the house and he looked at some of us and was like, hey, Urban Meyer's house is right down the street, would you guys want to go check it out? Like, worst that happens is like it's not actually him. So I was like, you know what, I'll go. And another one of my teammates, Leah Burns, she also came with us. So we went on a walk like down the path to his house and we were like, oh my gosh, like is this could actually be it. It was like a huge blue house, like you can't miss it. So we were like, maybe it is him. Like maybe we should just go knock on the door. What's the worst that can happen? So we did, and his wife answered the door, and she was super sweet. And we said we were from Youngstown and stuff, and we know Jim Tressel. And she was like, oh my gosh. And she invited us in, and she pulled him over. And it was so cool. And he was talking to us for a little bit, and we ended up getting a picture with him.
I mean, what a great experience to have. I mean, memorable experience to have down there in Florida. Would you say that the team bonding that occurred down there in Florida, and I mean experiences like that, would you say coming back as a team, you guys were closer going into the second part of this season?
I felt that Florida made our team very closer and stronger as a whole. And I think that we had a rough start with Fitch. I got hurt the second inning during Fitch. I got hit in the head by a pitch, and I've had like a lot of concussions in the past. So it wasn't really good for a second. So I was out for a couple of days. And then the second day of Fitch was a little bit better. I was not playing, but it got a little bit better. And our senior night against Mooney, I think we came out with a bang. It was very good. Um, and last night we struggled a little bit, but hopefully we overcome it and we beat Canfield tonight.
All right, let's talk about this love for softball that you have and all the work that you put into it. Where did it start, and has it grown since you started?
I've loved softball the minute I've played it. When I was younger, I used to live in Poland, but I ended up moving in second grade, and I was like a big soccer person then. So I love soccer. That's all I played. And my dad one day, I remember standing in my kitchen, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to play softball?" I was like, softball, what's that? Like, I don't want to play that. And he was like, just try it out. Worst that happens is like you don't like it. So I started playing when I was younger and I just fell in love with it immediately. Like I just loved it. And when I was 9 years old, I joined travel softball for the first time. I joined the Boardman Spartans, which then later changed to Steel Valley Storm. But my dad and my mom, they've helped me through it all. And my coaches, Ralph Rivera, he taught me everything I know. And Fred Moots also helped me along the way too.
Talking about all these role models that you've had in your life and all these great coaches, what is some of the best advice that you've received that you kind of take with you day by day and maybe you repeat to some other players that kind of help you out?
The stuff that I just think to myself that someone said to me before is just play your best and have fun. It only lasts for so long, and just remember to stay humble too, and be respectful towards others, and just play your best and have fun, and don't worry about anyone else or what they're saying.
I want to hear about your confidence because you come into this season as a sophomore and To have the success you've had, you got to have confidence from the start. Where does your confidence come from, and how do you kind of keep it on the slopes of softball that inevitably come when you have a down game, or you're not hitting the ball the way you want to? How do you keep your confidence up?
I just remember that it's just a game and it really doesn't matter in the end. Like, everyone has their own opinions, but I know, like, deep down inside that I know how I play, and if I had a bad game, I just think, well, let's get the next one. And if I do rough hitting, usually after a game, if I don't do good, I'll go home, set up the net, and I'll just hit a little bit until I fix what's wrong. But I just think, like, let's fix it and let's move on. And the game never happened. So just keep moving forward rather than worrying about the past.
Would you say that this is a transition year or a year where you're looking to develop leadership qualities, knowing the senior class that's leaving from this season and knowing that you're going to be now one of the upperclassmen going into next?
I think it's nervous becoming an upperclassman. I feel like this year I've learned so much from the seniors on how to be a leader and how to guide others to greatness. And I think that hopefully I can become that leader and role model for the freshmen and some of my other like players around me. I'm hoping that I can become the leader that the seniors were and still are and fill their shoes.
We all get to see Coach Moots during the game, and we all get to see, his mannerisms and how he acts on the third baseline. But we don't get to see him off the field. We don't get to see him in practice. Tell us something about Coach Moots that maybe a lot of people don't know that you think they should.
He Coach Moots, he believes in all of us and he knows how like what our potential is. He doesn't seem like it, but he's really a funny guy and he's very kind and he's a very understanding person too.
Let's talk a little bit about this Boardman community and the support you've seen or you've gotten over the last couple of years since you've been playing for the varsity level. How influential has this Boardman community been, and how impactful has it been on your journey so far?
They've been very impactful. I feel like everybody's on my side and they're always all rooting for me and they always want the best for me and the best for Boardman softball. And if I'm doing something wrong, like they'll always like text me or something and tell me what's up and how to fix it. And they always tell me to keep my head up and stuff. I feel like I have a very good support system and they're always by my side.
All right, Maddie, it's time for your rapid fire questions to get to know you a little bit off the field. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, we will start with, let's start with who's your favorite superhero?
Superman.
All right, so we'll go from a superhero to a real life hero. Who is your real life hero?
I would say both of my parents.
All right. What was one childhood fear that you had?
I was so afraid of heights.
Do you still have that fear?
Yeah, a little bit.
Um, Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
What is your guilty pleasure dessert? Dessert.
Ooh, probably ice cream.
What flavor?
Oh, that's a hard one. Maybe Oreo.
Who makes the best ice cream?
Handles.
Yes. Can't be from Boardman if you don't say handles.
Right.
Um, what is the weirdest thing that your pet does?
He likes to jump on top of me like all the time. Like I'll just be standing there and he's just a puppy right now, but he likes to try and jump on me even if I'm standing up.
If your pet could talk, what would they say about you?
He would probably say, "Come run outside with me and play with me more."
What are four words that best describe you?
I would say energetic, ambitious, funny, and brave.
Who do you text the most?
Probably my mom.
And then follow up, what was the last thing that you texted your mom?
Probably something about like turning some paper in.
All right, this doesn't have to be extremely accurate, but what was your last Google search?
My last Google search was a biology Quizlet. I had to look it up so I could start studying for my test coming up.
Uh, if you owned a business, what would you want it to sell or be running?
Um, hmm, probably like shoes. I don't know. I'm into shoes, so maybe I would sell shoes.
What is your favorite season of the year?
Summer.
And I think this one was already answered because the shoes. But what is one thing that you spend a lot of money on that you probably shouldn't?
I would say clothes in general.
And then what was your last impulse buy?
Food. Something to do with food. I think I bought like Chex Mix or something like that, and I didn't need it because I already had some at home.
Well, what was your last vacation?
Florida.
And what is your favorite vacation spot?
I like going to the Outer Banks. I go there almost every year with my family.
If you could go on vacation to anywhere, where would you want to go?
I think I would want to go and see Italy.
Name one mythical creature that you wish was real.
Mythical creature. Maybe like a unicorn.
What is your favorite board game?
Monopoly.
Um, who wins in family game night?
Usually me or my dad.
What is your hidden talent?
Um, hidden talent. I'm like really strangely flexible and I can do like weird back bends and stuff.
What is your favorite Disney character?
Um, Probably Princess Jasmine.
And what fictional death hit you the hardest?
In English this year, we read a book called The Book Thief, and I think like the ending of that book was just hit me the hardest, like the deaths in it.
Spoiler alert, it's a sad movie, it's a sad book, and it's about World War II. So basically
Yeah.
anything about that subject is going to have a sad ending.
Yeah.
Maddie, before we let you go, we want to give you a chance to thank your support system and your support staff and everyone that kind of supports you throughout your journey. So thank whoever it is you want to thank at this time.
To start off, I want to thank my parents for always believing in me and always being there for me, and always supporting me no matter what I do. My younger sister for always cheering me on and like just believing in me. I want to thank all of my travel coaches for always like helping me fix whatever I need and answering my questions and believing in me too. They've been there for me since day one. My coach Ralph Rivera and of course Anthony, Paige Dill, my dad. I would also like to thank all of Boardman in general, and especially my coaches and teammates, Fred Moots, Lauren Gabriel, Coach Lindsay, and Coach Bernie. They've always been there for me too. Definitely my teammates, like travel and high school. I love all of them. They always have treated me so kindly, and I don't know what I'm going to do without them someday.
All right, Maddie, thank you so much for joining us today. We wish you the best of luck in the rest of your season. We hope it goes as far as it possibly can. And we'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you so much for having me.